All right, everybody, man, what's going on? Welcome to today's edition of SWAC Talk, the show where we cover the SWAC inside and out. I am your tour guide around the SWAC Seawells coming at you. And we're going to talk about a little basketball today. I'm going to recap the games that took place yesterday, January 8th on Saturday. And then we'll preview the games that are coming up on Monday, January 10th. Full slate of games, six SWAC games, men and women, 12 games total, six men, six women. Same thing will be Monday. So full slate of SWAC action this weekend, and then we'll be on and running to the march to the SWAC tournament, and then ultimately the NCAA tournaments. So, with that being said, you can see the social scrolling on the screen down below. Feel free to check those out at your leisure, like them, follow them, whatever the case may be. Also, if you would like to donate to the show, you get the hit the Cash App $ SWAC Talk. Anything would be much appreciated. Also, subscribe to the YouTube channel while you're here. Hit that notification bell to be alerted to any content that I upload. Like the videos, share them, and feel free to comment on your thoughts on these games this weekend, games coming up, who you think is balling, who you think need to improve, whatever the case may be. Feel free to jump in the comments. It will be responded to. I respond to pretty much all comments, so make sure you do that. So with that being said, before we jump into our game recaps, I like to throw this out there, man. I know if you're in the general area of a SWAC university and you need to stop by and check out a game, man. I know Mondays aren't always the best for people, it's work day, work night, whatever, but Saturdays are always a good opportunity to get out and check out games. I know school is not quite in yet, so that'll boost the attendance, but seeing these empty arenas on Saturday, it's not a good look, man. The energy that everybody's been showing to SWAC football, I would love to see it transfer to SWAC basketball. That's a drum I'm gonna beat all season. So, if you can get out and attend a game, man, please do. If you can't, then that's understandable. But I just want to throw that plea out there, man, because these kids they work hard and they have talent as well. So make sure to check out these SWAC basketball games if you can. I'm not asking you to travel 1,000 miles. If you can't do it, but if you can do it, man, please get out there and check out these games because there's some good basketball being played and there's some really good athletes out there. So make sure if you're in the area to check out a game, man, please do and support SWAC basketball. So with that being said, let's get into these January 8th recaps. The first game we're going to talk about is the UAPB women went to Houston and defeated the Texas Southern Tigers 86-82. UAPB led this game basically from start to finish. They had a 6-point lead at halftime. So they really, controlled this game. They jumped out to an early lead. Texas Southern made a nice run in the first quarter to kind of close the gap, but they could never overtake the Golden Lions. Zay Green led UAPB with 22 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists. She was 9 of 21 from the field. Joyce Kennerson had 21 points for UAPB. She was 4 for 7 from the free throw line, 8 of 11 from the field, and 1 for 2 from 3. She also had 5 rebounds and 3 assists. Maya Pete had a double-double for UAPB. 13 points, 21 rebounds, man. She did monster work on the boards, 8 offensive boards, 13 defensive boards. She also had one assist to go with those numbers. That's that's a crazy double-double. That's probably gonna have in consideration for SWAC Player of the Week. 6 of 14 from the field. She was 1 for 2 from the line. Also, Taisha Juhan had 13 points. She was 13.6 rebounds and 5 turnovers on the night. UAPB had 50 rebounds on the night, and they shot 40% from 3, 8 of 20, 46% from the field, 31 of 67, and 16 of 27 from the free throw line for 59%. Texas Southern was led by Shalexis Aaron with 21 points. She had 5 rebounds and 3 assists. She was 8 of 20 from the field. Talia Bridges, 14 points. She was 4 of 15 from the field, 5 for 6 from the free throw line. She had 9 rebounds and 6 assists. Texas Southern continues to have problems with turnovers. They turned the ball over 21 times in this game. UAPB also had 23 turnovers, so this was a pretty sloppy game. Texas Southern shot 38% from the field, 27 of 71, 35% from the 3-point line, 10 of 28. and 18 of 22 from the free throw line for 81%. So this was a pretty solid game for UAPB. Like I said, they out rebounded Texas Southern 50-36. So they out rebounded them by 14, control the boards, and played pretty well, pick up a nice road victory. Prairie View dropped the 84-77 decision Valley dropped the 84-77 decision to Prairie View. Also on Saturday, Prairie View, this game was a back and forth affair. The teams were pretty much close throughout. Prairie View had a 5-point edge in the fourth quarter, which was the difference for them. Bryson Etienne led Valley with 20 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. She was 8 of 19 from the field, 4 of 12 from three-point line. Zakiya Mahoney also had 20 points for Valley. She had 6 rebounds and 3 assists as well. 7 of 13 from the field, 6 of 7 from the free throw line. And Shelly Thigpen had 16 points for Valley, 6 of 12 from the field, 4 of 6 from the line. Valley had 45 rebounds on the night, and they shot 38% from the field, 23% from the three-point line, 6 of 26, and 17 of 27 from the free throw line for 63%. Prairie View were led by Diana Rosenthal with 29 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. She was 11 of 18 from the field, 4 of 6 from three-point line, and 3 for 3 from the free throw line. Geraldine Smith, 17 points for the Lady Panthers, 10 rebounds, so a double-double for her. 3 assists as well, 7 of 14 from the field, 3 of 4 from the free throw line. She had 2 offensive rebounds, 8 defensive rebounds, 15 points for Brittany Garner, 6 rebounds and 1 assist. 7 points for Kennedy Hurd, 8 rebounds and 4 assists. So Prairie View had 46 total rebounds on the night to Valley's 45, so pretty even rebounding margin. Prairie View forced 21 turnovers, and Valley forced 23. Again, another game with a lot of turnovers. Prairie View was 32 of 74 from the field for 43%, and 28% from three-point line, 6 of 21, 14 of 17 from the free throw line for 82%. So a nice win for Prairie View, rebounded from that loss they had Wednesday to Southern. Jackson State, in the game that I had picked as my feature game of the day, Jackson State blew out Alabama State 79-58. Again, a game that was controlled basically from the start. Jackson State led 20-13 after one. Alabama State outscored Jackson State by 2 in the second quarter to go into the half down by 5. Jackson State outscored Alabama State by 12 points in the third quarter, and then 4 in the fourth quarter to put this game away. Amisha Williams, as usual, 26 points, 18 rebounds, 10 of 13 from the free throw line, 8 of 12 from the field, 5 offensive rebounds, 13 defensive rebounds. She also had 3 blocks and 3 steals. Totally stuffed the stat sheet this night. Daisha Rogan, 20 points for Jackson State, 1 rebound, 1 assist. She was 7 of 15 from the field, 2 of 6 from the three-point line, 4 for 4 from the free throw line. Deja Woodard, 8 points and 7 rebounds for Jackson State. So this was a 2-woman show. Williams and Rogan really just did a lot of work. Alabama State just had no answer for them. Jackson State was only 3 of 10 from the three-point line for 30%. They did not make a 3 in the second half. They actually only attempted 1 3 in the second half, as they mainly worked inside. They shot 42% from the field, 24 of 56. They shot 46% and 57% in the second half, so they work mainly inside. 28 of 38 from the free throw line for 73%. They had 46 rebounds and 19 turnovers, and they also had 9 blocks on the night. They did a lot of work inside. Alabama State was led by Shamaya Ward with 14 points, 3 rebounds, 7 of 13 from the field. Farrah Pearson, 5 points and 3 rebounds. Also, Ayana Emmanuel, 18 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. Alabama State had 29 rebounds, so they got out rebounded by a good margin. Excuse me, they had 33 rebounds. They got out rebounded by 13, and they turned the ball over 18 times. They shot 31% from the field, 21 of 66, 4 of 11 from 3-point line, 36%, and 12 of 17 from the field for 70%. Again, this was a game Jackson State controlled from start to finish, and Alabama State just had no real answers for anything that the Lady Tigers had wanted to do. Southern went to FAMU and defeated the Rattlers 71-55. This was a game that was pretty close up until the fourth quarter. Southern outscored FAMU by 14 points in the second quarter. In the fourth quarter, 26-12 to put this game away. As FAMU really just struggled offensively. Southern shot 47% from the field, 42% from three, 6 of 14, and 13 of 19 from the free throw line, 68%. They were led by Nakia Kinsey with 16 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. She also had 2 steals. She was 4 of 5 from the field, 4 of 5 from 3, and 4 for 4 from the line. Amani McWayne, 12 points for Southern, 5 rebounds, 1 assist. 14 points for Genevieve Johnson, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. She was 6 of 10 from the field and 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Southern had 25 rebounds on the night, and they had 10 steals. FAMU had 33 rebounds, so they actually out-rebounded Southern by 8, but that was not enough. They turned the ball over 19 times. They were led by Dylan Horton with 25 points and 9 rebounds. She had also 4 assists. She was 9 of 15 from the field, 1 for 3 from 3, 6 of 8 from the free throw line. Anijah Harris, 17 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. She was 5 of 11 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3, and 5 of 9 from the free throw line. The Rattlers were 4 of 9 from 3 on the night for 44%, 20 of 43 for 46% from the field, and 57% from the free throw line, 11 of 19. Like I said, they had 33 rebounds, and they turned the ball over 19 times. Big win for Southern to go on the road and take out an opponent who was coming off of an emotional victory over their rivals. This game, like I said, was close. Southern pretty much forced the tempo at times, and FAMU really could not respond. The next game, Gremlin, defeats Bethune Cookman 66-61. Very close game. Gremlin led by a pretty comfortable margin throughout. Bethune Cookman actually outscored Gremlin by 9 points in the fourth quarter to make the deficit only 5. So that Gremlin led by 14 at the end of the fourth quarter, at the end of the third quarter, and then Bethune Cookman went on a fourth quarter run. But Gremlin was led by Justice Coleman with 21 points, 21.7 rebounds, 6 of 12 from the field, 9 of 10 from the free throw line. Alexis Hope, 15 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 of 9 from the field, 11 of 13 from the free throw line. Sierra Ellington, 10 points, 10 rebounds, double-double for her. She also had 1 block and 4 steals. Gremlin had 11 steals on the night and 40 rebounds. They shot 17 of 50 from the field, 34%, 4 of 13 from the three-point line for 30%, 28 of 35 from the free throw line for 80%. Bethune Cookman was led by Tanya White with 20 points and 8 rebounds and 2 assists. She also had 1 steal, 7 of 15 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3, and 5 of 6 from the line. Taylor Williams, 12 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. She also had a steal, 4 of 7 from the field, and 4 of 9 from the free throw line. Bethune Cookman was 1 of 12 from three-point line. That is a huge factor in this game. You lose by 5 points, and you only make 1 3. You figure you make 1 or 2 more, you win this game. They made the only 3 in the fourth quarter, so they were 0 for. They didn't attempt the first quarter 3. They were 0 for 4 in the second quarter, 0 for 2 in the third, and 1 of 6 in the fourth. So not a good shooting night for them from the field. They shot 39% total from the field, 21 of 53, and 18 of 31 from the free throw line for 58%. So overall, poor shooting night for the Lady Wildcats. That's just not going to win you a lot of games. 35 rebounds on the night. They got out rebounded by 5. They turned the ball over 19 times. And just, poor shooting really did them in. And that's not the kind of effort that you want, especially at home. And if you listen to my previews and recaps and stuff, you're gonna hear me say home a lot. Teams really typically play a lot better at home in the SWAC, so you don't want to waste home opportunities. And that's something that a lot of teams, the newer teams, are gonna pick up on. You need to win at home because it's tough to win on the road. Crazy things tend to happen, so you don't want to put yourself in an opportunity in a position to where you need to win games away from home. Winning games away from home should be extra. You want to win as many as you can at home, and then still as many as you can on the road, and that would put you in a top half position in the conference. The final game of the night, we want to recap for the women. Alabama A&M lost a close one to Alcorn, 61-59. Alcorn trailed by 11 after the first quarter. They trailed by 12 at half. So they were really much down. They outscored Alabama A&M 21-9 in the third quarter, and then 17-15 they outscored them at the end to win by 2 points. Zaniyah White led Alcorn with 12 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. She was 4-7 from the field and 4-for-4 from the free throw line. Larray Roscoe, I guess that's backwards, 9 points, 1 rebound, and 2 assists for her. Maya Clayton, 8 points and 2 rebounds. Bria Broughton, 10 points for Alcorn, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. Also, Tanaya Wright, 10 points, 3 rebounds for her, and 3 blocks. Alcorn had 4 blocks on the night, 30 rebounds total. They turned the ball over 16 times. They were 51% from the field, 25 of 49, 6 of 12 from the 3-point line for 50%, and 5 of 6 from the free throw line. So only 6 free throw attempted all night by Alcorn. Not many whistles for Alabama A&M, but Alcorn overcame that. The Lady Bulldogs were led by Dariana Lewis with another double-double. If you remember, she had a huge double-double against UAPB. This time she had 20 and 17, 10 offensive rebounds, 7 defensive rebounds, 3 blocks also, and 1 steal, 8 of 19 from the field, 4 of 6 from the free throw line. Nigeria Jones, 11 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals. Jill Harris, 10 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal. The Lady Bulldogs had 42 rebounds, so they out-rebounded Alcorn by 12, but they weren't able to get the victory. They turned the ball over 13 times. They had 4 blocks and 6 steals. They shot 35% from the field, 21 of 60, 25% from 3. Again, another poor shooting 3-point night by most of these teams that lost on Saturday. They did not shoot threes well. That's probably the common denominator in these losses for each team. 25%, 3 of 12. They were 2 of 6 in the second half and 1 for 6 in the first half. 14 of 26 from the free throw line, 53%. So they did not take advantage of the fact that they shot 20 more free throws than Alcorn, and they also had, like I said, 12 more rebounds. They did not take advantage of a couple opportunities. Like I said, they blew a big first half lead. Alcorn was resilient, and they were able to pull out the victory. So that will put us into looking at the standings from this so far into the season. Southern is 3-0 right now, 5-9 overall. They are on a 3-game winning streak. Jackson State 2-0, 4-6 overall. Prairie View 2-1, 5-9 overall. Alabama A&M 2-1, 4-9 overall. Alabama State 2-1, 3-9 overall. Alcorn 1-1, 2-9 overall. Florida A&M 1-1, 1-12 overall. Pine Bluff 1-2, 5-8 overall. Gremlin 1-2, 4-10 overall. Texas Southern 1-2, 1-9 overall. Bethune Cookman 0-2, 2-10 overall, and Valley is 0-3 and 1-10 overall. So looking at the games coming up on Monday, again, like I always say, they kind of flip flop opponents. So the matchup that you had Saturday, the opponents will switch. Southern goes to Bethune Cookman for a 4:30 tip off. Gremlin is at Florida A&M for a 4:30 tip off. Jackson State is at Alabama A&M 5 o'clock tip off. Valley is at Texas Southern 5:30 tip off. Pine Bluff is at Prairie View 5:30 tip off. Alcorn at Alabama State for a 5:30 tip-off. And the game that we're gonna look at this week for Monday as our feature game is gonna be Alabama A&M Alabama A&M hosting Jackson State, and this is a nice matchup that I like. Both of these teams are very good. Jackson State is the highest scoring team out of the two. Jackson State averages 73 points per game. Alabama A&M 54. Alabama A&M is the leading defense at 64 and a half points per game allowed, 67 for Jackson State. Field goals, Jackson State leads the league at 43%. Alabama A&M shoots. They shoot 34% from the field. That's ninth in the league right now. Defensively, these two teams are kind of even. Jackson State allowing 35% field goal percentage for their opponents. Alabama A&M 40%. 3-point field goals. Jackson State shoots 29% from the 3-point line. Alabama A&M 25. Jackson State leads the league in 3-point defense at 26%. Allowed. Alabama A&M is third, 29%. Free throws. Jackson State is shooting 64% from free throw. Alabama A&M 66. Opponents for Jackson State shooting 72% from the line. Alabama A&M opponents 66%. Rebounding, Jackson State leads the league with 43.4 rebounds per game. Alabama A&M 38 and a half. Defensive rebounding for for the opponents. Alabama A&M has allowed 39 rebounds per game, 39.7. Jackson State 39.8. Jackson State turns the ball over 16.9 times per game. Alabama A&M 14.6. Jackson State has forced the average of 16.9 turnovers for the have forced 12.8 rebounds. The opponents 10 for Alabama A&M, and the leaders are obviously Amisha Williams is the leader for Jackson State, along with Deja Rogan. Williams is averaging 17.6 points per game. Rogan 16.10. Dariana Lewis leads Alabama A&M with 12.2 points per game, along with Nigeria Jones, 12 points per game. So that's a 1-2 battle right there. Those two matchups are two that you want to keep your eyes out on. Williams and Lewis are the leading rebounders in the league, 11.1 for Williams, Lewis 10.8. Again, these are two of the top women in the league going at it. I like this matchup. Deja Woodard for Jackson State, she averages 5.5 rebounds per game. Maya Crump, 5.2 rebounds per game. Williams leads the league in field goal percentage at 53%. Rogan, 49%. So, like I said, I really like this matchup a lot. I think Nigeria Jones and Gerard Covington, they both average 3.2 assists per game for Alabama A&M and Jackson State, respectively. So, I think this should be a very entertaining game. Alabama A&M let a huge game get away from them on Saturday against Alcorn. That's a game that they basically controlled pretty much all game long. They controlled that game, and they really should have won it, but they let it get away from them. Jackson State has won both of their first two games pretty handily, so I don't expect them to come in with any kind of lull. I think Jackson State will win this game. I think Alabama A&M is going to keep it close. I think that they'll play pretty tough, but I like the matchup in Jackson State's favor. Again, I think they're going to pick up this victory and move their record to 3-0. Moving over to the men's side, these games will be games that took place on Saturday. Again, I think this was a pretty entertaining weekend of basketball, and we'll start it off with Gremlin and Bethune-Cookman. This was a 68-66 victory by Gremlin. 34-26 was the halftime score. Gremlin led by 8 points. And then they basically were outscored by Bethune-Cookman by 6 in the second half to end up winning by 2. In a very entertaining game, neither team really could put it away. Tremichael Moulton led Gremlin with 24 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists, also 2 steals. He was 10 of 15 from the field, 2 of 4 from three-point line, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Cameron Christian had 10 points for Gremlin, 3 rebounds and 1 assist. He was the only other Gremlin player in double figures. Zahid Munford had 9 points and 2 rebounds, and AJ Taylor had 8 points. Terrion Randolph had 2 points and 8 rebounds, along with Amari McCray, who also had 8 rebounds to lead the team. Gremlin had 36 rebounds on the night, and they had 10 turnovers and 5 blocks and 5 steals. They shot 41% from the field, 24 of 58, and 5 of 14 from three-point line, 35%, 15 of 20 from the free throw line for 75%. Bethune Cookman was led by Joe French with 31 points, 2 assists. He was 9 of 15 from the field, 5 of 8 from three-point line, and 8 of 9 from the free throw line. Dylan Robertson, 16 points and 11 rebounds, a double-double for him, 4 blocks and 1 steal. Also, Kevin Davis, 11 points and 15 rebounds, 2 guys with double-doubles for Bethune-Cookman. He had 2 assists and a steal. They shot 36% from the field, 24-65, 7 of 16 from the three-point line, 43%, and 84% from the free throw line, 11 of 13, as they had 40 rebounds to out-rebound Gremlin by 4. They had 12 turnovers, 6 blocks, and 5 steals. So this was a very close game. You know, this was one of those games that kind of could have went either way. Gremlin held on to the big lead that they built at the half and were able to pull it out at the end. Southern defeated Florida A&M 80-66. This was a very tight game in the first half. FAMU actually led most of the first half. Southern scored on a buzzer beater three-pointer right before the half to take a 36-35 halftime score. And then Southern, basically with defense and fast break points, basically put this game away. They outscored FAMU 44-31 in the second half to win this game by 14. Jalen Sadler led Southern with 14 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists on the night, 1 block and 4 steals. He was 7 of 13 from the field, and he did not make a 3. He played 38 of the 40 minutes. Tyrone Lyons, 10 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 steals. Breon Whitley, 12 points for Southern. He was 5 of 10 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3. He had 3 rebounds. Isaiah Rollins, 12 points for Southern. He also had he made four 3-pointers. He was 4 for 5, including that buzzer beater 3 right before the half. That's his second buzzer beater before the half in 3 games. He had 1 against Texas Southern right before the half. So he's been a clutch guy right before half. Also, Jaquan Ewing, 10 points and 6 rebounds for Southern. The Jaguars had 36 rebounds, 11 steals, which leads the league. They're a team who really gets their hands on the basketball a lot. They're averaging about 11 steals a game, so they were right on that number. They had 15 turnovers on the night. Florida A&M was led by MJ Randolph with 30 points. He had 19 points in the first half. He was really on fire, but he just did not have a lot of help. So that kind of wore their team down. He was 11 of 15 from the field and 8 of 13 from free throw line. He had 6 rebounds, and he did turn the ball over 7 times. Bryce Morgan, 13 points, 9 rebounds. He had 1 assist and 1 steal. Keith Little's 10 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. FAMU had 34 rebounds on the night, so they were out-rebounded by Southern by 2. They had 21 turnovers, which was kind of their undoing, especially in the second half. And they had 8 steals and 5 blocks. The key for FAMU that cost them this game really was their shooting from the three-point line, because they actually shot 44% from the field, so they shot well inside the 2-point range. But from three-point range, they were 2 of 12, 1 of 7 in the first half, 1 of 5 in the second half. They just could not make threes. And when Southern made that run in the second half, the lack of three-point shooting is really what hurt them. They missed multiple threes, and Southern was able to get runouts and basically pull ahead. And they were 18 of 25 from the free throw line. So this was a game that was close for a half, and Southern, through their defense and basically the tempo, put this game away. Alcorn picked up a nice road victory against Alabama A&M, 78-71. They were leading 37-33 at the half. They outscored the Bulldogs 41-38 in the second half. Alcorn wins their second game in a row to start the season. Keandre Montgomery, 27 points for Alcorn. He was 9 of 12 from the field, 5 of 8 from three-point line, 4 for 4 from the free throw line. He had 5 points and 1 rebound and 3 steals. Linnell Henry, 13 points for Alcorn, 5 rebounds. Justin Thomas, 10 points for Alcorn, also 5 rebounds. Dontrell McQuarter, 6 points and 5 rebounds for Alcorn. The Braves, 37 rebounds as a team. They had 16 turnovers, and they blocked. They didn't have any blocks, but they had 14 steals, so they did a really good job of turning Alabama A&M over. Braves shot 46% from the free throw line, 41% from the three-point line, and 76% from the free throw line. So really good shooting night from Alcorn. Like I said, great defensive night. The Bulldogs were led by Garrett Hicks with 22 points. He was 9 of 21 from the field, 3 of 8 from three-point line, 1 for 2 from the free throw line, 3 rebounds and 1 assist. Double-double for Jalen Johnson, 13 points, 12 rebounds, 3 offensive rebounds, 9 defensive rebounds. He was 9 of 13 from the free throw line. Also, Dallin Smith, 9 of 12 from free throw line. He had 13 points as well. 6 rebounds for E.J. Williams. Anjay Cortez, 14 points for him. Bulldogs, 36 rebounds, so they out-rebounded by 1. Like I said, they turned the ball over 14 times. They had 6 steals and 2 blocks. They shot 39% from the field, 22 of 56, 5 of 14 from 3, 35%, and 22 of 31 from the free throw line for 71%. Again, a poor shooting night from three-point land is basically the difference in a lot of these games. Teams have been unable to knock down threes, which really can hurt you because it's easy to kind of get yourself back in the game if you're making threes and your opponent's making twos. So when you're unable to do that, that can cost you. Alabama State picked up a nice victory over Jackson State, 72-57. They control this game basically. First half was a 22-21 margin at the half. They outscored Jackson State by 14 in the second half, 50 points to 36, and that's how they put this game away. Javius McKinnis, 14 points for Jackson State, 8 rebounds. He did foul out in this game. He had also 1 block and a steal. 4 of 8 from the field for him, 6 of 9 from free throw line. He played 38 minutes, so he basically played the whole game before he fouled out. Terrence Lewis, 10 points and 6 rebounds for Jackson State. Chance Moore, 21 points for Jackson State, 4 rebounds and 6 turnovers. He also fouled out. Jackson State had 3 guys foul out in this game. So that really hurts you, when you can't keep guys on the court, that can hurt you a lot. They had 37 rebounds on the night, 15 turnovers, 5 blocks, and 4 steals, 30% from the field, 9% from 3, 2 of 21. They were 1 of 10 in the first half, 1 of 11 in the second half. Again, poor three-point shooting, that would do anybody in. And there's been a lot of that on Saturday. 80% from the free throw line, 21 of 26. Alabama State was led by Kenny Strawbridge with 17 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals. He had 3 of 7 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3, and 11 of 11 from the free throw line. DJ Jackson, 13 points, 5 rebounds, 5 of 7 from the field, 1 of 1 from 3, 2 of 5 from the line. 10 points and 3 rebounds for Isaiah Range. 8 points and 3 rebounds for E.J. Clark. Jordan O'Neal, 6 points, 4 rebounds. Gerald Liddell, 8 points and a rebound. Alabama State, 30 rebounds, so they were out-rebounded by Jackson State by 7. They had 11 turnovers on the night, 8 steals and 3 blocks. They shot 44% from the field, 20 of 45. They were 2 of 8 from 3 for 25%. So this was one of few games where the winning team was horrible from 3 as well. Nobody could make a 3-point basket in this game. They were 2 of 5 in the first half and 0 for 3 in the second. They shot 30 of 36 from the free throw line, 28 of 30 in the second half for 93%. They were only 2 of 6 in the first half. So they went to the line quite a bit in the second half. There were a lot of whistles in the second half of this game. Hornets took advantage of that. And like I said, they were able to win with a very, very poor three-point shooting night for them. The next game, Valley picks up a big road win over Prairie View in overtime. Now, this was Prairie View's first game back in quite a while. They had been paused for COVID protocols, so they did not play either of their first two games in SWAC this season, plus a couple games before conference play started. That does, that's not an excuse or nothing like that, but that's just the truth. They were unable to play. So Prairie View and Valley went neck and neck. Valley big win though, because Valley has not really played well all year. And they Valley trailed by 2 at the half, 37-35. They outscored Prairie View in the second half, 39-37, and then they outscored them in overtime, 10-8. So 2-point margin at the end of each half leads to Valley winning by 2 in overtime. Robert Carpenter, that's a name you guys need to really keep an eye out on from Valley. He can score the ball. 26.7 rebounds for him, 2 assists, 1 block, 3 steals, 8 of 13 from the field, 10 of 11 from the free throw line. Devin Gordon, 13.6 rebounds, 5 of 15 from the field, 2 of 9 from 3, 1 of 3 from the free throw line. Elijah Davis, 11 points, 3 rebounds. Caleb Hunter, 9 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 2 steals. Valley, 31 rebounds in the night. They did turn the ball over 19 times. They had 10 steals and 3 blocks. They shot 45% from the field, 27 of 60, 4 of 19 from three-point line, 21%, and 78 from the free throw line for 26%. 78% from the free throw line, 26 of 33. Jeremiah Kendall led Prairie View with 21 points and 12 rebounds, double-double, 1 assist and 1 steal, 9 of 14 from the field, 3 of 5 from free throw line. McKedrick Bell, also 21 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 blocks for him, 9 of 11 from the field, 1 of 1 from 3, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. William Douglas, 12 points and 8 rebounds. Jeremiah Gambrell, 10 points, 4 rebounds. Prairie View, 42 rebounds, so they out-rebounded Valley by 11. They had 24 turnovers, which was their undoing on the night. They had 12 steals and 3 blocks. The Panthers shot 47% from the field, 31 of 65, 33% from 3, 6 of 18, and 14 of 22 from the field, 63%. This game had 11 ties and 11 lead changes, so this was really a very tight game throughout. So that was this was a very entertaining game. One of those low-key game of the night type of games. Unexpected at that because Valley is really not playing well, but they picked up a big victory over Prairie View. The final game of the night, Texas Southern defeated Pine Bluff 90-71. Texas Southern basically controlled this game. First half, 44-32 at the half, 12-point margin, 46-39 in the second half to take a 19-point victory, 90-71. Sean Williams went off for UAPB. He had 30 points, so he was, I think, the third guy of the night this week with 30 points. He had 30 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. He did have 5 turnovers, 9 of 17 for him, 6 of 8 from 3, 6 of 7 from the field. Kylan Milton, 13 points and 3 rebounds. He was the only other golden line in double figures, so just didn't get a lot of help for these guys. 30 rebounds. They had 15 turnovers on the night, 1 block and 4 steals. They shot 40% from the field, 22 of 54, 42% from 3, 9 of 21, and 18 of 28 from the field for 64%. Bryson Etienne led Texas Southern with 21 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists. He had 1 steal, also 7 of 10 from the field, 4 of 7 from 3, 3 of 3 from the line. He only played 24 minutes, so very efficient night for him. Jordan Carl Nicholas, 13 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. He had 1 block and 1 steal, 5 of 5 from the field, 3 of 4 from the line. 13 points for PJ Henry. He was 5 of 6 from the field, 3 of 3 from 3, 1 rebound. Texas Southern had 31 rebounds on the night, so they out rebounded UAPB by 1. They had 11 turnovers and 7 blocks to go with 6 steals. 55% from the field for the Tigers, 33 of 60. They shot 42% from 3, 9 of 21, and 15 of 19 from the 3-point line. So this game here was not close at all. There was only 1 lead change and 4 ties. 28 points was the biggest lead for TSU. So this game, Texas Southern basically controlled from start to finish. Looking at the standings after 3 games, Southern leads the league right now at 3-0. They're 8-7 overall. They're the only team in the league with an overall winning record. Alcorn is 2-0. I would say a surprising 2-0 right now, but they're 2-0, 3-11 overall. Texas Southern 2-1, 4-8 overall. Gremlin 2-1, 4-11 overall. Alabama A&M 2-1, 3-10 overall. Alabama State 2-1, 3-12 overall. Bethune Cookman 1-1, 3-11 overall. Pine Bluff 1-2, 3-13 overall. Valley 1-2, 1-12 overall. Jackson State 0-2, 2-11 overall. FAMU 0-2, 2-11 overall. And Prairie View is 0-3, 0-11 overall. So as you can see, some very bad out of conference records, but as conference plays comes, it's turning around. But those records don't look so good right now. Looking at the schedule for Monday, let's see, we're gonna pull this up. Well, we know Southern and Bethune-Cookman play at 6:30 tip-off in Daytona. Jackson State, Alabama A&M 7 p.m. tip-off. Pine Bluff and Valley also a 7:30 tip-off. Gremlin and FAMU play at 6:30 as well. Pine Bluff, Prairie View, like I said, 7:30. Texas Southern Valley 7:30. Alabama A&M, Alabama State 8 p.m. I think that's the game that I'm gonna take a closer look at. Alcorn, like I said, is a surprising 2-0 right now. Alabama State is 2-1. They did pick up a nice victory over Jackson State. Both of these teams have defeated Jackson State to start off the season. Alabama State is second in the league in scoring at 66%. Alcorn is 10th at 60%. 66 points per game. Alcorn is 10th at 60.7 points per game. Alabama State defensively, they allow 78 points per game. Alcorn 73. Field goal shooting, Alabama State is second in the league right now at 42%. Alcorn shoots 38.6% from the field. The opponents for Alabama State shoot 43%. Alcorn's opponents shoot 47%. 3-point shooting, Alcorn is 31%. Alabama State 30%. These teams are kind of even. Alcorn's opponents shoot 31%. Alabama State's opponents shoot 32% from 3. From the line, Alcorn shoots 72%. Alabama State shoots 69%. Alcorn's opponents shoot 74% from the field, 74.6. Alabama State's opponents 74% rebounding. Alabama State is third in the league right now at 34.3 rebounds per game. Alabama State 32.7. Alcorn's opponents 34.8 rebounds per game. Alabama State's opponents 38.1. Turnovers, Alabama State, they average. Alabama State averages 17.5 rebounds. 17.5 turnovers per game. Alcorn 14.6. Alcorn's opponents 12.9 turnovers per game. Alabama State 13.9 turnovers per game. So these two teams, their numbers are really, really even. So this should be a pretty good matchup. Alcorn right now, they don't have a guy in the top half in the top 25 in the league in scoring. They've been pretty. They haven't really had a lot of guys score a heavy amount of points right now. Alabama State is led by Gerald Liddell at 11.4 points per game, and Alcorn is led. Kenny Strawbridge also averages 9.8. So Alcorn really doesn't have a guy that is one of their top scorers. Rebounding, Alcorn is led by Lionel Henry. He has 5.7 rebounds per game. Jordan O'Neal, 5.3 for Alabama State. And like I said, I really think this should be a pretty entertaining game. Like I said, both these teams they score pretty much the same amount of points in the mid 60s. Alabama State doesn't they allow a little bit more points than Alcorn does, but I think that this is one of those kind of matchups that neither team wants to get out of the 60s. If it does get a little bit high tempo, I like Alabama State a little bit better. Looking at the conference numbers, Alabama State's averaging 74 points per game in conference. Alcorn 71. Alcorn's giving up 60 points per game on defense in conference play. Alabama State 67. In conference play, again, Alcorn, Lionel Henry is the leading scorer for Alcorn in conference play at 17 points per game. So that's a guy that you probably want to look out for, along with Keandre Montgomery. He's averaging 15 and a half points per game in conference. So those are two guys that you want to kind of keep a lookout for since conference play has started. Like I said, Kenny Strawbridge is 17 points for Alabama State in conference play. So same names for Alabama State, pretty much are the same guys, but in conference play, Alcorn has had a couple guys step up. But I like Alabama State. I think they're playing pretty well, and they're playing really well at home. Alcorn's been on the road for the first 3 games. This will be their 3rd game on the road to start the season. So will they be able to win 3 games in a row on the road? That's pretty tough. But I think Alabama State should be able to pull this game out. I think it's going to be a close game. Just looking at the numbers, I think both these teams match up pretty well. So I think that this will be a really close matchup. But I think Alabama State will get the victory. So that's going to do it for today's show. Wednesday, we'll be back to recap the games from Monday and preview the games for Saturday. And Thursday, SWAC Smoke live as usual. Sunday, we'll recap Saturday games and break down Monday games. So full week of SWAC Talk and SWAC Smoke. So make sure to check everything out. Again, I'm your tour guide, stopping the bus. About to let y'all hop off and enjoy y'all Sunday. And we'll catch y'all on the rebound. We out of here.